The Portland metro real estate market saw a record high number of price reductions this past week at the same time that mortgage rates held at the lowest level we've seen in about a year. Let's get into the very latest stats and trends and see what's going on. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope that you find this report both informative and helpful. If you'd like to see more reports like this in your feed, all it takes is for you to hit that subscribe button. Now on with the show. We started off September with some stronger sale prices. The average sale price came in 2% higher than the previous week and 5.5% higher than last year's number. There weren't any big surprises with the supply numbers. The inventory of homes for buyers to choose from is on the rise, but that's to be expected this time of year. There was also a big increase in the number of homes that hit the for sale market, but that number is still well below what we were seeing last year at this time. What is a surprise was the record-setting number of price reductions we saw this last week. It was the highest number that we've seen for more than a year. The same held true for price reductions of more than $15,000. Price reductions are a little more considerable in their stature. This looks like a combination of a couple of things, probably a bit of seller fatigue and folks trying to get their homes sold before winter sets in. Between you and me though, I think that winter is a great time to sell when the competition leaves the market and people still have to buy. December tends to be one of those months with the lowest inventory in months. Low inventory in months means seller advantage, high inventory in months means buyer advantage. So it can turn into more of a seller advantage situation during the winter. Demand is a little perplexing right now. The number of purchase agreements written by buyers and accepted by sellers is down, but it's still higher than what we were seeing last year at this time. It's up by about 8.9%, but that's a smaller margin than I would expect to see given the much lower interest rates that we have this year. I think that the postponing effect of the presidential election is at least partly to blame for this. And I think we can also see that with our number of lockbox opens. I did finally get those numbers after about a month-long dry spell of them not putting any numbers out. Very frustrating. Lockbox opens, of course, are one of our best indicators of high-intent buyers out looking at homes with their agents. And the numbers are coming in just shy of 5% below last year's numbers. Again, I think that's a bit of the delaying effect from the upcoming presidential election. Mortgage rates have been holding at the lowest rate that we've seen in about a year. The best rate that I could find advertised for the 30-year fixed was 5.625%, and that's pretty much where we were at the end of last week. After a couple of pretty moderate jobs and inflation reports that came out this week, the yield on the 10-year Treasury is staying relatively flat, indicating that there won't be much immediate change in mortgage rates. If anything does drastically change by Friday morning though, I will post it right over here as always. Looking forward into next week, the big event that we'll be watching is the Fed's meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's September 17th and 18th. The market is overwhelmingly expecting to see a cut in the Fed funds rate at the end of the meeting, but most of the analysts are split on whether it's going to be a quarter-point cut or a half-point cut, and they're pretty good arguments for both scenarios. My suspicion is it will probably be just a quarter-point cut, and that's based on the Fed's recent track record of being very careful with their decisions and their movements. So be sure to subscribe to this channel and tune in here next Friday for the latest developments in Portland metro real estate. I look forward to seeing you then.